How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Marvels, where we cover all things Marvel and everything pop culture. My name is Battery CEO. This is Sensei Finito. Got another video for you guys. Sensei, what are we doing today?
Yo, today we are going to be basically talking about and doing our review of HBO Max's new series, Peacemaker.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to do our regular watch party and kind of do our review and all that stuff, but we're about to talk about it right now. And
Oh, yes.
I'm pumped. Like, I really enjoyed the show a lot more than I thought I was going
Yo,
to.
the first three episodes have been
Mhm.
released on HBO Max. By the
Yeah.
time you guys watch this, episode four most likely is already out.
Yeah.
Uh,
Episode 4 is out, like, right this second.
but I wasn't prepared for what we saw.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was expect like coming into this series before uh premiered. I
Mhm.
really enjoyed how Suicide Squad set up Peacemaker's like
Yes.
character, his arc, the emotional
The whole
uh
backstory really
backstory
of
that
like what's going on with him.
and like how everything that he experienced with Rick Flag and that trauma
Mhm.
could come back to really kind of bite him in the butt, really affect him in like I don't want to say a negative way because I think it's going to add a new layer to his character to where that
Yeah,
he might want to turn things around in terms of how he does things
for sure.
for the better, you know.
Mhm.
And we definitely see that in the first three episodes for sure.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I really liked how at the beginning it was like previously on
mhm,
Suicide Squad. I really
yeah,
like that. Like we
that was a
really
cool. Yeah,
that was a cool little just I don't even know. Like it was something that I didn't know that I wanted, but then I
hmm
saw it and I was like, okay, that's awesome. Like let's
yeah.
go.
This is
Um,
exactly what we need.
this is exactly what we needed. I
Hmm
loved the dynamic uh between Peacemaker and the janitor right off the bat. Like that
Oh
was
yeah.
hilarious in the hospital, bro. Their whole dialogue of going back and forth was just hilarious, bro. I was
Can I
rolling.
trust you? No,
No,
I
you can't
barely
trust me.
met you. What? Like what?
It's like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about?
I was like, it was like, fine. I'll just. I forget what he said, but he said something. He was like, fine. I'll just talk to you anyway since you're the only one here, and,
Yeah.
and hope that I can trust you. And but
He's
that
like,
was a
no, no,
cool
don't
little.
tell me anything, man.
that
I can't.
was a cool way to start the show, though. And I
Oh
know
yeah.
like they were talking shit about Aquaman. That had me dying. I was like, yo,
I
they're
was not
really.
ready for when they started ripping on him. He was like, "Oh yeah, man. You know my brother. He works down at the place. He showed me. He told me."
Yeah,
He's like, "No, I won't believe it."
down in the back with Trout, man, just messing around. You gotta be
He was
careful. And
like,
I was like,
"No,
oh
no, I
my
won't
god,
believe
like
this."
don't tell me that. No, I was, oh, dude, yeah.
That all was hilarious. I think it really set the tone for the
hmm
show right off the bat of letting us know this is going to be like it made it seem like the show is going to be more funny, honestly. But I
Yeah.
think this show has like a perfect blend of that
hmm
serious and the humor, just kind of combined together.
Yep.
And the fact that he Peacemaker is kind of like Thor, like he uses his humor as a way to hide the shit that he goes through or whatever the case
hmm
may be. Um, and I really like that. I really like that, yo. Uh, and then he gives the taxi driver his helmet. Didn't expect that at all.
Yeah, my man was like, I have some. I forget where they went, but the currency from another country, and he was like,
Oh yeah,
no. What else? What you got in that back? And I was like, oh damn. My man just gave up his helmet, and I was
that
like,
was hilarious.
bro, he was just so defeated. And then when he couldn't open his door, he was like, fuck.
Yo, that had me rolling. I was like, this man just cannot get a break. Like,
hmm But just with the three, like the first episode, for example,
yeah,
uh, I think it did a great job introducing the team that it's gonna be working with.
yeah.
That new character that appears to be somehow involved with Amanda Waller. That was cool. Uh, seeing Amanda
What?
Waller as
Who?
well.
What? What character?
Uh,
Oh, are you talking about the black girl,
yeah,
for lack of better words?
I forget her name. I
Yeah,
don't know her name.
I forget her name too.
Still pretty new. I'm not too sure
Yeah.
about the names, but pretty much the crew that's there is the same crew that betrayed Amanda Waller from the Suicide Squad. They're just
Yeah.
they've all
Plus,
been demoted.
Her name is Leota.
Mm.
Her name is wild. It's Abibala. Remember, it's like Abidali
In
or
the
something
show?
like that. Yeah, that's her name in the show, or that's her last name at least,
Hmm.
and that's what they call her because they go by the last name.
Yeah.
Danielle Brooks is her real name, and then Leota Adebayo.
Mm.
Yeah, Jesus.
Wow. I love her character so far. I think
Hmm.
she adds a very interesting dynamic that I think blends and really works really well with Peacemaker, and they have a really cool dynamic
Yeah,
whenever they talk to each other. Uh,
I really like it too.
uh,
She's probably one of my low key favorite characters, alongside Hark. What's her name? Harcourt. Harcourt. I liked Harcourt. She's the girl. She's the
the
other
girl,
female on the team.
the
Yeah,
blonde girl, right?
yeah, the blonde girl,
Hmm.
Amelia Harcourt is her name. I really liked
Okay,
Harcourt. I
I really
liked her
liked her too.
character. I like when her and Peacemaker talk in the bar, and it's
Yep.
like it kind of shows that he thinks he's like better. He thought he was better than the douchebags that was at the bar, and he really just turned out to be a douchebag right along with them. And I
Yep.
honestly didn't expect that. I thought they were gonna have like a moment, low key. Like I thought it was
Hmm.
gonna be like, I'm just had but no,
I don't know.
like he was
They I felt
harassing
like
her like a lot in that bar, Like he was like, yo, look, we don't even have to be friends. We could just bump uglies and be done with it. Like I was like, hey, yo,
yeah.
my guy does not care.
It does seem like the show's kind of put them together though. Like, I mean, there's a
Yeah,
couple other times where they do have kind of like interactions with one another that may or may not have been moments for those two characters.
yeah,
But I think there's definitely something in store for those two. I don't know for
for
sure
sure.
yet because of how comedic and how the show is, so it's hard to kind of tell if
Bro,
like
that intro.
you know I had to skip. I had to skip every time after that. I only watched it
Yo,
once, and I was like, "Yo,
I
I
was
understand
rolling. I
why
was like,
everyone on Twitter was popping off about this intro because I
hey,
think it's
it's better than the freaking post credit scene for the last episode of Hawkeye, though.
it is it
Exactly.
is, which is wild. Uh, I just didn't expect that as an intro because I didn't watch Origins because like it's been a couple days now that
Mm,
or it's been about a week since it's been out since
yeah,
we watched it,
yeah,
so I just didn't watch the intros that were posted on Twitter at all, so I had no idea
yeah.
whatsoever. And then I was like, "Wow, they really did like a whole dance sketch
They were all
with the whole cast." I was like, "Man, they're getting it in."
even the neighbor that even the old neighbor was in it. I was like, yo, what's happening? I really like that old neighbor dude.
Mhm.
And then not soon after we see the taxi stuff go on, we see Peacemaker go to his dad's house. And bro, his dad, like I got trauma from just like listening to
Yo,
that man talk. Like I was like, Jesus.
no, dude, I wasn't prepared for that. Like,
Mm-mm.
uh, I mean, I should have known because like I don't know if Suicide Squad really kind of talked about how uh if Peacemaker was like really
Racist.
really racist or
No, I
not
don't think so. I don't
at
remember
all.
that at all.
Maybe his dad was maybe that was mentioned, but like I don't know if that was ever talked about. And then when the show
Mm-mm.
starts, when he's in the taxi, the dude is like, "Oh, you're that racist guy, right?" Or
You're
was it the
the
janitor that said that?
Yeah, it was the
It was
janitor
the
when they were
janitor. It was the
talking. He was
janitor.
like, You're the one that only kills minorities." He was like, "No, I've killed white people too."
Yeah. He's like, "Fine, fine. I'll kill more white people and make it even." He's like,
Is that all
"You
you? Is
like
that what
that?"
you
He's
want?
like, "Yeah, that's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. As
I
long as it's
loved their
equal."
dynamic, bro. It was amazing. It was amazing. Um,
But the
what else,
dad,
man?
man,
Yeah, the
I think
dad was such an asshole. He
his
wanted to
whole
punch his
intro,
face.
and I'm intrigued as to figure out what the hell, how the fuck, like how to get to where he was at. Like
Yeah,
he had a
they made
setup
it
more
seem.
advanced than Iron Man. I was like, what
Yeah,
is going on?
facts. And it was like just a little room, but it was like a
It was
broom
like another
closet that
dimension.
went into another
Yeah,
exactly that went into another dimension. I was like, what the fuck? That's bigger than the whole house that they're in.
yes,
Um
I couldn't believe it.
uh but I think they made it out for him to be like he was a hero before or a villain before. Uh I don't
He's
know
super super racist
because
for sure. There's
he
no
yeah,
doubt
super
about
racist.
it.
But when they talk about him, they talk about him in a way that it's almost like Peacemaker took over the mantle from his dad. That's
Hmm.
kind of the vibe that I got when they were talking to him.
Yep.
But in later episodes, we see other stuff that I won't talk about yet until we get there. But
Yeah.
yeah, his his setup was amazing. And then
Mhm.
he all the helmets. I loved them all. I
Yeah,
loved all of the
that
helmets.
was
Like
awesome,
I was like, yo, he's awesome.
but the dynamic he had with his dad, though, man, like
Mhm.
it was in it. What can I compare it to? I had something in my mind. Um, so it's a very similar father son dynamic that we typically see, where he's never the dad, the father's never satisfied with what the son
Yeah.
does,
Yeah.
uh, and that's very much the case in this instance, and uh, it was. I don't want to say it was cringe to watch.
It
I just
low-key
felt
was.
I felt bad for Peacemaker
Yeah.
because of the way the father was kind of treating him, like with his words, and I was like, man,
Yeah.
they
He
did a
was
really
like,
good job with this.
yes, I was about to say that. Because that actor, I'm pretty sure we've seen him in multiple things
Oh
before as
yeah,
well.
he's in a lot of good.
And
He's in a lot of stuff.
he killed it. Like he definitely made me mad. Like that sometimes they'd be like, villains or actors that played their roles so well that you really don't like them anymore. It's like he did that. Like within the first episode, I was like, oh bro, he sucks. Like, no wonder why Peacemaker is the way he is.
hmm But I'm excited to see where that goes because of
Oh
everything
yeah.
that's kind of happened
Mhm.
throughout. I think episode 2 is where it kind of happened. Everything kind of went down, right?
I think it happens in a little bit of both of them.
Or even 1 and then 2.
Oh
Um,
no, because one ends with one ends with the bar scene, I believe, and then the
yeah,
two starts. No. One ends with the bar scene. Yeah. And then two starts with them trying to get him away, I think, or something like that. If I'm not
yeah,
mistaken. Was that all in the same? I don't know. So much stuff was happening.
yeah. A
Um
lot happened, but
so
like,
much stuff happened. It made me so happy. Like we've never
mhm,
seen like like the way the show is set up, and to be a superhero show, we literally we haven't really got to see something on this level to where it's
mhm,
real lit. Like you're still in the real world. Like the boys, everyone is superheroes, so that was
mhm.
dope. But in this case, it's like, yo, when they were chasing him through the house, like everything was so realistic and hilarious. I just like it.
The villain or like the main villains per se for
Oh
the
yeah,
like this whole
the
mission that's going
butterfly,
on. The
Project
butterflies.
Butterfly. Yeah,
Uh, at first I was like, butterfly, what the fuck? And then
yeah,
uh,
same.
details here and there started to unfold, and you know, uh, that whole sequence after meeting someone at the bar,
Yeah,
some
that was
stuff goes
after.
down.
Okay, the only thing that was dope, I think we could just talk about this last thing about episode. I think that was all in
Mhm.
episode 1. I think
I think
majority
episode
of the
one,
stuff
he even gets in
I
the
have it up on
fight.
here. Hold on, let me see.
No, no, no. There's no way.
Let's
My
see.
timeline is all messed up. I feel like I have episode 1 and 2 mixed up right now, for sure.
Okay. All right. So everything. Okay. All right. So we can talk about the chick because that happens at the end of episode 1. We can talk about we can kind of talk about Vigilante a little bit, not too much though.
Oh, they have that meeting in episode 1, right?
The hawk freaking hugged him. That was the eagle. I mean, that was
The eagle.
amazing.
Oh my god!
The eagle is one of my favorite characters.
I
Like
the eagle was so hilarious to see, and like how it was like, I don't know, it was like a person in bird form,
yeah,
and then uh we see a little bit of vigilante in episode 1, I believe, or at least we get introduced
we see
to
his alter
his
ego.
his
Yeah,
alter ego, and
that
that was
works
pretty
at the
cool.
place where they eat
Hmm
at and have that meeting. And during that meeting, they talk about that he has to kill a senator. Basically, like yo, that's his
hmm
assignment is to murder a senator. Uh, and he's
And he
like, "What?"
questions it and like I think in there he questions it a little bit. It's like, wait, why does he have to die? Or like,
And I
or he
think they
says some
even
other
say
stuff.
you got to kill the kids as well. I think they tell him
Hmm
you might have to murder everyone. And he was like,
hmm
"Yo, look at this kid. Like, well, at least this one's gonna be kind of easy. But look at this kid. It's a cute
Yeah,
kid. Yo, one of them kids was had a one of them kids was
I
looking
don't know. Yeah,
crazy.
I was like, oh damn! Like I was like, what the? They made the daughter. I don't even know. I don't want to say like
It was,
Shrek, but like,
but
I
facts, she had like a Fiona
was like,
nose.
I don't
I
know what.
was like,
I don't know what they did, but they really got. I mean, I'm not. I'm not against ugly kids, but shit, I don't know
that
what they
was
did.
no, that was an ugly ass kid for sure.
It
And
was like a mutant.
then Vigilante is hilarious. When we get him introduced, when we first get introduced to him, when he's talking
Mhm.
to the coworker out back, and that was all
Dude,
hilarious.
I
All of
was
that was
like,
hilarious.
yo, my man went 1,000 feet immediately away. Not even a step. He just was like, yeet, I'm going to the edge and just just jump right off. And that I was just like, yo, this show is this is exact the first episode did a really good job at setting the tone as to what to look forward to throughout the rest of the show.
Definitely.
Um, and then with episode two, um,
Well, the ending of episode one is
oh
he's in the
yes,
bar and he's talking to Harcourt, and she's like, "Yo, I just want to have a beer in peace." And then she
mhm.
leaves, and then he sees like the I guess you could say the typical trashy the typical trashy girl in the bar, and then he takes her home. And then that's when we see them really that's when they show us that hey, this is a HBO Max, baby.
Yeah, this is an adult show.
Like
uh,
we gonna have to be careful when we do this one live.
mhm. uh, I wasn't expecting that at all, though. Not with that particular, but like what
Oh, it's
happens
like for her to
after.
be butt naked. I wasn't
Uh,
expecting that at all. They didn't even give anything as a hint
no
that something
warning.
like that was gonna
It just
happen.
bam, it just started. I was like, oh my god.
I was
I
like,
was on
oh.
I was on max volume, door open, everyone in the house walking around. I was like, oh my god, like this is gotta be
But
careful.
even before they get to the house scene, we find out that Abadeo is Amanda Waller's daughter,
And no
uh,
one knows.
and no one knows except for Abadeo's wife,
Hmm.
and so she's kind of the sleeper cell almost. That
Hmm.
she's the only one that knows the real plan. We could see that off the jump. So I like
And on
that. What
top of
did you
that,
think about her being her daughter and being inserted into the team and all of that type
I
of
think
stuff?
it's cool. I think it's cool. Um,
Yeah.
I want to know more about what she can do because Amanda Waller definitely knows what her skills are, and she's
Yeah.
like, "You need to use those skills."
Mhm.
And then like the daughter was like, "Oh no, I want to be like this," and then Amanda was like, "That'll get you killed."
Yep. Mhm.
So I definitely want to know more about her, and I hope the show gets more. But it seems like it's set up. The show set up to be kind of. She's definitely one of the more important sub characters in the show.
Oh
I feel like.
yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
I'm
It's
excited
like
to learn more
Peacemaker
about
and
her.
then her. Like
Yeah.
she's right there after him because
Yep.
the way they get even built her up with her wife and then the dogs and all that type of stuff, they made you really want to, feel her,
Yeah.
be one with her. But then we see the crazy scene at the end in the white girl's bedroom, and that was wild, bro. I instantly was like, something's not right.
Yeah, I was getting some weird vibes, man. And then that just goes into episode 2, right? Or is it the whole fight scene?
No,
The
we have the
whole
entire fight at the end. Yeah, we got the whole fight,
mm, like I
all the
wasn't
way, even the
expecting that.
thing with the helmet, everything.
Everything okay.
Yeah,
So like that was one of the coolest. I thought he was gonna
the
die for a moment.
coolest
I was
fights
like,
ever, bro.
yo,
Like,
I was like, is my man about to like be hospitalized again? Like what?
yep.
Like I just every time like I thought I was like, oh my god, this she just stabbed you like 18 times. Like
Yo, she
what
was
is going
poking
on?
him. I was like,
Yeah.
"Jeez, she's wilding."
And then
And
I was
I
like,
thought, I
zombies? Like I
honestly
just
thought it
didn't
was like
know.
something about them. I thought the music. I was like, "Is it
Mhm.
the music? Like, did the music activate something in her brain?" And then
Mhm.
I just didn't know what was going on. And then it shows that she had like superhuman strength, low key. Like she was throwing my man Peacemaker around, like flipped him
Started
over. I was
sounding
like,
like a
"Oh,
zombie, like and doing
yeah."
weird cries and whatnot. I was
Yeah,
like,
the
what
growls was
is
scaring me. I
happening?
was like, "Yo, what is this chick?"
And then he finds that the stone, uh,
Oh yeah,
that
but
weird
that's
looking thing.
after. That's in the
That's
next episode. I don't think that's
oh,
in this
okay, yeah.
episode. Yeah.
Uh,
So they get the whole fight,
that's
and
wild though.
then he jumps out the window. He runs to his car, and the helmet that he chose was one of the helmets that his dad was telling him about the force field. The chick runs full speed at him, jumps in the air, and the helmet
Bam!
does the coolest wave I've ever seen in my life and obliterates her and pushes every car around him back
It
at
was
least
like
like
a
10,
rated
15
R
feet.
version of Neji Hyuga's uh, uh, palm defense dome thing that he
Mm,
does.
mm.
Like it was like if
The
there was a rated
15
R,
paragraph, the 15
if there was
trigon,
a rated
whatever.
R version of him doing that defensive technique that he can do, that's
Mhm.
exactly what it was like. But she got disintegrated, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
my, and everything was thrashed, and I was like, yo,
At that point, I was like, okay, this show,
it's about to be,
yep,
it's about to be
this show
lit,
is about to be litty.
it's about to be
As
crazy.
like we don't know what we're gonna see in this show.
Hmm.
And then that's kind of how that's basically how the first episode ends. That it ends with her getting blown up and disintegrated.
Hmm.
Let's go into the second episode. How do we start this one? I think this one starts with him calling Harcourt, and then
Yeah, just I'm
Harcourt
like, yo,
wakes
I
up.
fucked up. Like,
Yeah,
I need help
Harcourt wakes up Abadeo. They get in the car and they start heading for him.
because they
Uh,
realize the butterflies are involved, and she's like, oh shit, like because
mhm.
Peacemaker doesn't know what's going on. Like they won't even
Mm-mm.
tell him
What
what
butterflies are?
the butterflies are, and it's not
Yeah.
until this episode where he kind of gets an idea, but he
He was like, she says, come on, we gotta go. Peacemaker F the freaking butterfly. Like, bro, what? Like, what kind of coincidence is that? Or was
Mhm.
it a coincidence? That's kind of what my question was. It was like, did
I
that
don't
happen
know.
on accident? Or was she seeking out him purposely? Because she was definitely looking at my man's direction when they were
Hmm.
in the bar.
Yeah.
Um, and then we kind of get a little bit of backstory for I can't think of what this dude's name is. The big white dude. Hold on, let me see. Uh
The computer guy.
John Economos. Yeah, the computer guy. So that's
Hmm.
Economos, and then the lead of the team is Clemson Mern. And they call everyone from their last names.
Hmm.
So Economy and then Mern. So we get a little bit of them like talking, and it almost seems like they trust each other
It seems like they've worked
more.
with each other for a while,
Yeah.
or because he wasn't in Suicide Squad.
No, Mern was not.
Marin was not in Suicide Squad, but it seems
Mern
like
and
they've definitely
Abadeo.
worked together with a lot of different things, or at least
Mhm.
uh, he was very curious as well because he knew about all the crazy, like shady things that Mern had did
Yep.
prior to them being put on this mission together. So they definitely knew who each other was. It seems like,
Yeah.
um, but I like that. And like it wasn't boring. It didn't feel like it was being wasted
Yeah.
in the episode, and I thought that was pretty cool.
And then the next thing that we see is Peacemaker starts to get all of his stuff together because he doesn't want to leave anything behind.
Yeah,
And this is when he finds that freaking mother box
stone.
type of thing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and I was like, "What is that?" Immediately, I didn't know what was going on.
Mm.
It was all glowy, and I was like, immediately, I was like, aliens. Like,
That's
okay,
yeah. I was like, okay, aliens, or like, or that was like some like made a sound that
yeah.
made people go crazy or something.
Ooh,
Like that's what I
okay,
thought it was, and then we come to find out later on, like what it is.
yeah.
Um,
And then we have the police looking and trying to see what's going on. My man Peacemaker looks out the window at the police, and they're like,
and
"Hey,
they're
yo,
like,
is there someone in that
"Yo,
apartment?"
someone's up there," and then they
They
just get
immediately start
swarmed.
chasing him. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's just
Um,
him trying to escape, and then
mhm.
he meets
Oh,
a couple. Yo, that I was like, oh my god.
he meets the couple, got to tie him up. He starts hit the girl, the
Him and the
wife
girl
or the
immediately start
girlfriend
fighting. Yeah.
immediately start vibing, bro.
The guy's like, "Are you really trying give? Are you really giving this dude
Are
doobie
you
vibes
really trying to have
next to
sex
me?"
with this guy right
Yeah.
now?
And they start fighting, and like he's like, "I'm so sorry," and he like ties him up all casually, and then he dips before the police come in. But
Mhm.
like all while because he still has a messed up shoulder. Like
Yeah.
he's still hurt from what happened in Suicide Squad. So he's being thrown through walls, jumping off building like ledges to get down, and then like gets caught, almost gets caught by the police. And then luckily,
Mhm.
the squad shows up with
Harcourt and
tranquilizers.
Epideo.
Mhm. So they
Mhm.
neutralize all the officers that had him cornered. They get him, they get out of there. But uh the police officers kind of have an idea. of who.
What happens is his car is still there.
Yeah, and it
So
kind
then
of it gets
economy
fuzzy. I don't know what that do. I don't know why.
economy then makes one of the dumbest decisions in guy behind the computer history, yo.
I don't
The
know
guy in
why.
the chair history, bro. He takes the license and registration and switches it from Peacemaker to his dad, bro. Like
He thought
what?
it would be funny, and then Merton was like, Are you
You are
stupid? Like,
you're an idiot.
yo,
He's like, we're trying
why
to get this
would you
guy
do
on our
this?
side, and you're gonna freaking implement his father. But
uh,
I'm not gonna lie, it kind of seemed like that's supposed to happen, right? What we see later on.
yeah,
Yes, and I'll get into that a little bit more once we get to that part. Then we see the police come to the dad's house, and we see the dad be even more racist at that
yeah,
point
yeah.
because
I was like, oh my god,
one of the
like,
cops is Asian, and he immediately starts going off and just talking that hot, hot, hot.
mhm,
And then we see a lot of the dynamic between Mern and Economy in this episode.
yep.
To my surprise, actually,
What
now
if
that
like
I'm looking back
Waller
at this.
secretly ordered him, like, hey, figure out a way to get his dad?
That's what I'm
But
thinking. That's what I was saying about
mhm.
that's what I want to bring back up once we get to that next part. Um and then Peacemaker continuously calls him Diebeard. That was hilarious, bro. He's like, whatever you say, Diebeard. Why they keep gassing him over and over like that? That was cold.
Oh, that's right, because his beard's like multiple colors, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh. And then we see one of the saddest moments to me. Peacemaker goes back to his house. He drops all the stuff that he grabbed from the lady's house. He grabs a record, puts it on the record player, presses
It just
play,
starts crying.
lays on his bed, and just starts bawling. Like
Yo,
he was bawling just, and I was like, oh, bruh, like he really didn't want to like none of the stuff that happened. He had any control over.
yeah,
Like he
definitely didn't
probably
want that to
really
happen.
did like that chick that he was talking to and all this stuff. Like, and then he basically had to murder her right in front of his very eyes and see her get disintegrated. Like,
Yep.
bro,
I
that was
like how he
heartbreaking.
activated too. He was just like boom, and then I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm
And
curious
then
to know.
Vigilante comes to that window. It's like, hey, buddy, why are you crying?
Yeah, and he's like, let me help you clean up the place, and he just casually starts cleaning everything up, and I was like,
Hmm.
oh my gosh, like what? Uh, I forget what they were talking about though.
What
Uh,
do you mean?
like what were Vigilante and him talking about? They were just kind of having a conversation, huh?
Yeah, they were just having a genuine conversation.
Talking about, and then oh, that's what it kind of leads to. Like they're having the conversation, and I don't think there was nothing like crazy important that was brought up, but
Mm,
Vigilante definitely wanted to hang out because he hadn't
yes.
seen Peacemaker in forever. It felt like so he and then they were like, let's go shoot appliances,
Yeah.
and so they do like target practice and they're having a good time.
With bows
Uh,
and guns and
yeah,
shit.
because he was like, oh, this will
uh
make you feel better. Let's go do this for fun.
and then Abadeo goes to talk to the couple to make sure that they won't, you know, snitch on Peacemaker or anything.
Yeah.
And she also implicates his father. And I was like, bro, what's happening? And then he goes to and he gets arrested immediately, like immediately after that.
Mhm.
um
Which that was
uh
wild because I just didn't know what to expect from the dad at all. And then
mhm.
because shortly after that, it goes to him going to prison, right?
Yeah, but before it does that, we see Abadeo talk to her wife, tell her she needs to go. And then
Oh yeah.
Peacemaker and Vigilante ended up having a freaking threesome with the lady of the couple when the dude went down to the police station to identify who it actually was. Like, bro, I was like, oh my God, they are
I
so
couldn't believe it.
evil,
I
bro.
was like, what? And that's when they figured out
That the
Stone was a spaceship.
Yep,
Or
he presses a button on it and it goes
it looked like a giant miniature spaceship. So I think
yep.
we're definitely dealing with aliens of some sort.
Mhm.
I don't know if the butterflies themselves are the aliens or if there's like a small alien that's controlling the butterflies as like a weapon or
Mm.
the butterflies themselves are the alienoid creatures that can control that ship. I don't know. I'm not
And,
too sure yet.
and then we see Peacemaker's dad in the in prison. And bruh, he goes and talks to a little black kid on a bench, and he's like, "Hey man, the sun comes through there perfectly in the evening, and it warms up this spot real nice. This is my spot. You got to move." And the kid's like, "Bro, I don't give a fuck about your spot." And he
Yep.
starts looking around, and there's just
Everyone's just like,
people staring at him. Like I was like, "Oh, wait a
I was like,
minute."
Man, this man's been here before. Like, what?
Like to
What is
me, I
going
thought
on?
I thought more on the lines of they wanted to beat him up or something. It was like,
Mhm.
oh, this guy's back here. But no, they were actually waiting for him. And then about 15 other white prisoners in the thing come up to him. Well, I
Yeah,
gotta make them I gotta say that they're white because they immediately kneel. They say, "Hail the white dragon." I think that's what they call
yeah.
him.
I think that's what
All
they called
hail
him.
the white dragon, and then they all start doing the hail Hitler sign, like immediately, all of them.
And all the
I was
officers were
like,
like, "What the fuck? Like,
I was like, oh shit.
is this dude a soup? Like, what is
I
going
was
on?"
like, they made mistakes. Like mistakes were made for sure. Like there's no way that they expected that to happen.
Mhm. I wonder if he has like super strength or something like that. You know what I mean?
Mhm. They
I just
did
want to
make it
learn more
seem
about
like
his
he had
character.
something for sure.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think he's like might just be like the leader of that chapter or something,
Mhm.
of the because it didn't seem like the KKK, because the KKK don't do they don't do the Heil, like the Hail Hitler sign. They don't do that. Like,
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. It's too big of a call for me to. I don't know.
um, well, I've watched a lot of Gangland in my life.
I was like, that's just wild. I don't know. It's a wild world out there.
Yeah, facts. It really is. Um, so and then so we see him kind
Mhm.
of almost take the throne, and they all just keep saying "Hail, hail," and then he kind of cracks that little smile at the end, and that's how episode 2 ends. And I was
Yep.
like, "Whoa."
Dude, I was not ready, but I'm ready to learn more about his character because
Hmm.
uh I don't know. Like he had to have been in prison for a long time prior
Hmm.
for that to even like be possible. It seems like there's a large amount of people that know who he is because of what
Hmm.
like he stands for in that world. So I don't know. I just want to know more. I want to see more of what each helmet can do. I hope we can figure out
Yes.
what I think that's a cool little thing that I think the show could do is really kind of introduce us to the different helmets.
I
Um,
really want to know how Peacemaker is going to react when he finds out they put his dad in prison.
yeah, that's true because he doesn't know yet, and he might not find out at all. They're like, okay, we cannot tell him about this.
Yeah. And then we get into episode 3. We meet the rest of the squad meets Vigilante because he's hiding behind a dumpster while they're getting ready for the mission to go assassinate the senator.
Yep.
That was hilarious.
They're just like,
They're
what you guys
like, yo,
doing?
is that Vigilante? No. Oh, so what do you expect us to think that the trash can is freaking talking to us? Bro, I love it.
And he's just
I
like,
love the humor that they all
yes.
have. And then we see them kind of go out to the place. I was kind of bummed that I literally thought that somebody was going to be able to draw his dove of peace
Mhm.
on the thing
That
for him.
was
I
so
didn't think.
funny, dude. I was just like, my man's about to butcher this. And I was watching and I was like, no, they did not let my man do this. Why? Oh, I couldn't believe it. I was like, yo, this show's not playing. They really out here trying to roast Peacemaker. Like,
It was like I can't use a weapon that doesn't have my dove of peace on it.
yes.
Yo,
And they're like, you're
that
telling
was
me you expected me to go
hilarious.
to a gunsmith, and have this gun engraved with the double piece before the mission? He's like, yes,
That's
100%.
exactly what
That's
I
exactly what I
thought.
need you to do.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was like,
Yo,
no,
that um
the top secret mission. We can't be doing that.
and then I think they talk about the what is his name, Judo or something.
Mhm. The security
The
guard.
security guard who is like in a superhero suit as well.
Mhm.
Uh, and they talk about how he's basically there. And I think bro calls him Cobra Kai at some point. He's like, yo, they're back, and so is Cobra Kai. Um, and so that the episode basically we're like right into it with this episode
Yeah, they go
3.
right into this one. Uh,
So the family pulls up in the limo. They go inside. They're like, oh, he says that the kid's not as ugly as in person. They go inside. As soon as they go inside, their whole demeanor changes, and I was like, "Oh
Yeah, I was
snap!"
like, dude, they're definitely all what that girl was back at the house in episode 2 or
Yes.
episode 1. I'm sorry. Uh,
Mhm.
and I was like, there's no way they have to be the same thing because up to this point, as viewers, we don't really know what the Butterfly
Yeah,
Project is either.
we're in the dark with Peacemaker up to this point,
And
so
it
we don't
wasn't
know.
until a
I
little
think they say
after,
something about it. They're like, "Yo,
yeah, well, like what's
Project
going on?
Starfish was a starfish, so Project Butterfly has to be a butterfly." Like
Yeah,
they're not really what was it? They're not really creative with the names. That's what Peacemaker said.
uh, but Peacemaker kept watching them through the scope, and they were like getting like something for the in bowls, and they started to eat
Mhm.
with like
They had
long
like
tongues. And I was
ah!
like,
That
"Oh,
shit tripped
there's
me out.
literally butterflies up in here." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh. Okay, okay."
That shit freaked me out. I'm not even gonna lie. Like as soon as I saw that, I
I
got the
was like,
heebie-jeebies and
"I am
everything. I was like,
unsettled."
I am unsettled. I did not need to see that.
Yeah.
And it actually looked good too. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it didn't look
Yeah, I did
looked like
nothing
they were really doing it. Like
everything in the show up to this point looked really good. Like, it did not look, they put a lot of money into, like, making sure everything looked good, and I really
oh
appreciate
yeah.
that from the show so far.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. So Peacemaker is looking through him. He sees that, but he starts like having PTSD almost and starts thinking
Yeah,
about everything and having an episode and then Vigilante has to take over and he starts
yeah.
my
Just
man's like,
popping them off.
God, ah,
Yep, it's
da, da,
exactly
da, da,
how it went.
da. Like, blah.
Exactly.
So he killed everyone except the dad. Like, he
And
was
then
not
Judo
playing.
was like, "Hoo!" and just, like, came in, started swinging
Judo
on
came
everyone.
in and started whooping ass,
I was like,
bro.
"Oh my gosh, this man does not play games." I thought he was gonna be one of those, one-off characters that wasn't
Yes.
gonna be able to
Like
do
he was gonna
shit, but
come in,
no.
do a whole bunch, and then just get shot in the face and die. Like,
Yeah,
and it's
it's
over.
exactly what I thought was gonna happen, and then that did not happen. He whooped everyone's ass, like, I was like, "Oh my god."
Swiftly. Like he did
Yes.
it, like he did it and saved some time. Like
Like, all of them were like, "What the fuck? Like, what is even happening?"
that man, and
You
he
know?
was munching on them hot Cheetos, bro. On the
Mhm,
extremely hot Cheetos. Made me want some.
mhm.
I haven't ate some of those in months. uh and then we see after Judo comes and whoops everyone's ass.
They all get captured, right?
Adebayo,
Mhm.
she sees one of the other bodyguards and she's like has him at
Oh, yeah,
gunpoint.
and
And
he's
then
normal.
Hardcore, yeah, he's just a regular dude. He doesn't know about
Yep,
butterflies. He doesn't know anything. And Hardcore's like, yo, shoot him. He saw us. Like, you got to murder this man. And she's like,
yep,
ah. And then she starts shaking. And then he's like, yo, I got a wife. I got kids. And she's like, oh my God, I can't do it. Hardcore smacks that man immediately. She smacked him immediately. She's like, what's
yep.
wrong with you? And then and then she comes back later. She's like, he wasn't a butterfly. She's like, oh, great. Come on, let's go. Like, she just doesn't
Yep.
even care. Like,
But, like, did she cut him open?
I think they probably bleed a different color or something
Oh,
along the lines of
because
that
like, she
because it
pulled
looked
out a
like she
knife
just, yeah, it
and was
just,
like looked like she was about to stab him, but it cut away, so I don't know, I'm assuming with what happens later on, she got in the
yeah.
head of that man, but I don't
I
know yet.
hope that's not what happened because that's freaking,
That's dark.
that's brutal. Yeah, that's super brutal.
Even for her character so far, unless we don't know something about her that, uh isn't privy to us yet. Like she's like secretly like a butcher for people like,
Oh,
on the
that's
down low
true. That's true. I didn't even think about that.
because we just might not
Um,
know. Like maybe
And
she
then
can't kill.
Judo proceeds to freaking Judo leaves, and then the dad butterfly proceeds to torture Vigilante to make
That shit was so
Peacemaker
funny.
talk.
Peacemaker was like, "Give me your all." Vigilante was like, "No, don't do that.
Please
Don't
don't.
do that at all." Oh
And then
my
he goes to
god.
cut his pinky toe off. He's like, "You need the pinky toe. You'll fall over if you don't have your pinky toe. I saw it on
Peacemaker was
the
like, "What? That's not true. That's
internet."
completely true." And then the man's trying to cut his toe off, and it's not cutting off. And I was like, "Oh my god!"
He's
Or
like,
no, and then
because they were hella dull. He was like, "They're dull. It's not working."
there's so much blood, and it's all on the pinky toe. And then
That was
Peacemaker's like, cut
brutal.
him all off. You'll never get me to talk. And I was like, oh my god, dude, this
Yo,
guy,
this show is 10 out of 10. Must recommend. It was
I can't,
hilarious.
I can't with
Um,
those two.
yeah, they were hilarious. What else do we see?
They break them out, right?
Oh,
I mean,
we
after
come.
that,
What?
they break them out after that, or short.
No,
There's
no,
a
no, no,
couple
no.
like,
Before that, we see the squad come into that living room, and then we see that
mhm,
huge crystalline like thing that's blocking from them going in
mhm.
underground into the cave.
Definitely not
And that shit was
not human.
wild.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm not
yeah.
sure if that was like a secret ship that they had down there, or if like it was like something that they had burrowed in, and that's part of like
Yeah.
I don't know, a butterfly
Because it
habitat.
definitely
I don't
seemed
know.
like a cocoon-esque type of thing, like that the door,
Hmm.
like the thing that they broke through.
Hmm.
Uh I was super not ready. Like once he pressed ignite like 2-3 times and it didn't work, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna blow up as
Definitely,
soon as he walks towards it.
definitely a callback to the Dark Knight when the Joker was pressing the button
Oh
and
yeah.
it didn't blow up the hospital. He was like, "What the fuck?" You know. And so
Boom.
definitely call back to that.
Yeah.
But for it to go off like I wasn't I wasn't expecting it to go off that big.
Yeah.
Like I thought he died.
I thought he was dead too. That's
I thought he
hilarious.
died.
Yeah, I was like, dang, they didn't kill Mern that quickly. Like, Jesus, poor Mern, bro. He
I
was
thought he
de-
was an important character, and I was like,
yeah.
dang, it took him out like that. Like what?
The way they made my man fly through the air and hit
Yeah,
the ground, I was like, oh, he's dead.
hit the
There's
ground,
no
hit
way
a
he survived that.
pillar broke, him fall ground. Oh, dude, I was like,
He was
he's
like,
dead.
go get Peacemaker. I was like, damn, why'd they do him like that?
I was like,
That shit
yo,
was hilarious. Then Judo tries to escape, and
I forget how did
economy, huh?
I
Economy
forget.
rams him with the freaking surveillance
Oh,
van,
he
and then he
does.
takes the freaking crowbar and goes over to him and just starts beating him. And he's like, "Economy, bitch!"
Because Judo wasn't stopping. He just kept getting
He
up, and
just,
then pop.
you know what this show reminds me of?
He gets up again,
Kick
and then
Ass.
pop, pop. That's true.
This show super reminds me of Kick Ass, bro. Like when he kept getting up and just kept getting up, it
Is
was like,
Kick
oh yeah.
Ass
I think
DC
Kick Ass is one of those
or
other
is
like Umbrella
independent?
Academy type of things. You know what
Oh,
I mean? I
okay,
think it's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like it is DC, but it's technically not DC.
That'd be cool
It's
to
like a
have Kick Ass in
subsidiary.
there. That'd be so cool.
To have them
That'd
just
be
pop up.
that'd be a cool little crossover.
He
I think
would
that'd be
definitely
cool.
be someone that I could see being with Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Um, and then Peacemaker and the dad Butterfly have a pretty cool little fight.
Little skirmish, you know?
Mhm. And then Peacemaker blows his face off with a shotgun.
Yeah. And this
Uh,
show, so far,
yeah.
like they're not playing around. Like this is a
Oh
super
no.
like a super gore show. Definitely adult content in this show. So
Mhm.
definitely not for kids by any means. Um, definitely for the more adult uh oriented DC fans because
Yeah.
this movie is not for the fan. The show is not for the faint of heart. So
Facts.
far,
Because
uh,
especially when we with what we see next, it's the freaking butterfly crawling out of the cavity that has now
mhm.
been created in Daddy Butterfly's
Yeah, we
face.
see every bit of it, and I
And
was
we
like, "Oh
see
my god!"
I did not expect it. It literally is on par with the gore that we saw in Suicide Squad because we
Yep,
saw a lot of people die at the beginning of that. People got their face blown off, everything. And
yep,
it's definitely like you can see that it's the same universe for lack of better words.
mhm.
So this actually gives me a lot of hope for that Gotham show that we're also supposed
Yeah,
to be getting. You know what I mean? Hopefully that show is on par with everything. But I don't think the Batman movie is rated R though, so never mind. But this was
well,
that.
I don't know if they've officially given out the rating. I know today.
Oh,
Today, I saw one of the people that leaked all the stuff about the Flash. Uh,
hmm.
I forget her name, but not
I know what you're
everyone
talking about though.
not everyone in our space likes her for some
Yeah.
reason. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but uh, she just had talked about something like, "Yo, if this movie's rated R, there's no way it's gonna make this much money, or that. Oh no, I'm sorry.
Mm.
She was talking about Doctor Strange 2. No, not Doctor Strange.
Oh, yeah, no, Doctor Strange
Maybe
too, because
it
people
might
were
have been Doctor
saying
Strange
that
2.
that was a rumor that was on Twitter. I think within this week was that Doctor Strange that Disney has a R-rated cut of Doctor
Yeah,
Strange 2. And then she was like, "Yo, there's no way that there's an R-rated cut for
yeah,
Doctor
because
Strange
no
2.
rated R movie.
Disney
It's
would
really
never do
difficult.
that."
It's really difficult for an R-rated movie to even make $1 billion.
Yeah,
I don't
didn't
think
Deadpool make
Deadpool might have,
was it
but
Deadpool that made a lot of money that was R-rated? I think it was Deadpool.
Deadpool did a really good job. I think Halloween did a good job, but I don't think it hit $1 billion.
Mm. But you miss out on all the families going to the movie. That's really where that
Mhm.
money leaves. And then I think
Yeah,
in other countries and things, they have
yeah,
really hard
really was
restrictions on movies.
restrictions. Yeah,
They're like, yo, nah, you can't show this, that. You can't say
this
Taco
movie needs to
Bell.
be rated G. Like,
If you say Taco Bell more than 3 times, we're not gonna let your movie be
yeah,
out here. Like that's
no,
basically like they be tripping. Like
yeah, can't do it.
and it really sucks, honestly. And then yeah, we see the butterfly crawl out of the dude's
Did they
face.
do they kill the butterfly or
Um,
destroy it? I don't know, or does it
I
end?
don't think so. I think it just ends. Yeah, it ends with them. It ends with the screen popping up,
Oh, that's right, and it
and then
shows
it shows
where
freaking
all the butterflies
thousands
are.
and thousands of butterflies like across the
I wonder
northern
how they
hemisphere,
know.
basically.
I wonder how they know how to track the butterflies. I wonder if
That's
Amanda Waller
true.
is the one that created them on accident, and like it just kind of got out of hand, maybe, or like she like
Mm,
recruited them, and then like they went rogue. Maybe
mm.
that's what's going on. I don't know.
That's a good
Uh,
point. But
but
if
I'm really
something,
excited to see episode
yeah,
4 because I don't
yeah,
know
for
what else to
sure.
expect with this show.
I agree completely. I've seen on Twitter that I saw on Twitter a lot of people talking about vigilante story in this episode or
Mhm.
whatever, and they're like, "Yo, he's officially my favorite character." So I'm
No, he
hoping
dude.
we see some badass stuff from Vigilante in this episode. He gives me a Deadpool vibe, like a super Deadpool vibe, but like
Yeah,
a little more. I don't
he
know what
gives.
it is. It's like a little
It's
more
like
just sad.
he gave me like a sad, kind version of Deadpool, because like that moment
Mm.
where like he like understood where he understood that like why Peacemaker was like locked up when he was trying to kill they told him, hey, kill the
Oh
family.
yeah. Yeah,
And he
like
was like, hey man,
the way
just
he
step
put his
aside,
arm on his shoulder, bro.
just
Oh
let me
my
do this.
god,
Yeah.
bro. Like
So like,
I felt it. I felt the love. Like he was like, "I got you, bro. Don't even worry about it, man.
yeah,
Like I got this. I know this is hard for you, but don't
because
worry. I
even
got
is it Marin, right?
you." Mern.
Even Mern was like, great. Amanda gave us someone who can't even fucking kill.
He gave
Like,
us a killer that can't kill. What the hell
yeah,
is this?
like what is going on? And that was just an interesting moment for me, because that's definitely what we wanted to see uh, following the events of Suicide Squad. And
Yeah.
I think it was a smart play on their end to play the first 3 episodes. Obviously, it makes it a little more difficult
Oh
for us
yeah.
when they do
That
that,
was
but
definitely the strategy.
I think it played out really well in this instance. Uh,
It made it like we got a movie for the first episode to really
mhm,
establish everything that Peacemaker is about. Not only him as a superhero, but him as a person. You know what I mean? Like
mhm,
he they're like, yo, they say it multiple times. I thought your tagline is willing to protect peace and kill any man, woman, or child in order to do it, like or something like that.
yeah,
And he's like, yeah, that's what I used to say for real. But him killing Rick Flag has took a
yeah,
tremendous impact on his life.
yeah. And that wraps up episode 1 through 3.
Yeah.
Uh, but all in all, though, just in general, in a sense, the comedy was there. It wasn't
Mhm.
forced. Uh, the character development was there for a lot of different characters.
Yes.
Uh,
that
uh,
that statement you just made is what surprised me. I did not think that they were
yeah,
going to be able to stick the landing with every single character, and they did. Like Mern, Abadeo, even
yep.
her wife. You know what I mean? Like when
Like they
she's
all,
like, "You got to leave," she's like, "Oh, I got to leave," and she like instantly. It was like, "Yo, I am
yeah,
all the way in the show." Like,
yeah. Because she doesn't. Isn't the wife? I'm pretty sure the wife doesn't know how deep or
She has no
how
idea about anything that's really
about
going on.
anything. Yeah, like I don't think she knows how like what Amanda Waller does and all that type of stuff. So,
Mhm.
uh, but the comedy was great. Character development was great. I thought the pacing was awesome. It didn't feel like it was rushing or too slow at any moment. I felt
True.
like everything that they did was well thought out and well placed.
Mhm.
The music was cool. Definitely wasn't expecting uh, the music to play so well with the show,
Yeah,
but I shouldn't be because the way the music played out in Suicide Squad was amazing. Um,
definitely. I'll say
let's
that
see.
I'll say DC is definitely showing up the Marvel shows with the lengths of these.
Yeah,
Like for one, like just the length alone
they're
is
almost an out like
everything that
50
we they're
minutes a
like
piece.
yeah, it's facts. So it's like they're real like Marvel stuff has been really good, but I don't know if anything has impacted me like the way this show has impacted me, as
Yeah.
far as the shows are for Disney
Hmm.
Plus. Like, yeah.
It was gritty. They weren't afraid to show us
Mhm.
wild shit I was not prepared for.
They weren't
Uh,
afraid to be racist, and I low key
yeah,
respected that. I'm not gonna lie. It was like, okay,
they weren't afraid at all.
they're not afraid. Like, yo, they're bringing that in the show. Like, this is what it's about. Almost gave me a
Like,
little bit of Watchmen vibes. I think.
it wasn't as blatant as Watchmen, but it was so
Yes.
subtle that it was way more offensive.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
it was so passive aggressive that it
It
was
was.
more
I was about to
offensive
say
than
passive
rather than
aggressive
being direct.
racism.
I was just like, oh my god, like what? This is oh my god, like this is racism in 2022. Like I can't handle
Facts.
that.
Yeah,
Like,
facts. That
yo.
was intense. I'm not gonna lie, that was intense. But yeah, man, I really appreciated this overall. I think if we're giving okay, before we give it our rating on the Marvel Bros
Mm,
scale, what is your favorite episode out of 1 through 3?
episode 3.
Yeah.
I think
Episode 3
episode
was
3
a
is the
good
one.
episode.
More so because of the character development that we see in episode 3.
Mm,
Um, but it's hard too because these episodes play like they're puzzle pieces at this point,
yes.
and like they each give each episode a certain aspect and add and add and add. It's not like Hawkeye or
Mhm.
the bout the bounty hunter, Boba Fett, where
Oh.
where like you could have an episode about one thing and not be relevant the next. But each thing
Yes.
that happens in this show so far, there's relevant information in each episode. Like it's adding to the story, rather than just giving us a bunch of fillers. So
Mhm.
uh and that's another thing I have to praise, like so
Mhm.
far, no filler. All plot, all main story stuff.
And they're not scared to make us think that Peacemaker is an asshole. Like
Yeah,
they make him like you know what I mean? He's a real character. You like him sometimes, you don't like him sometimes. He's a real
yeah.
person, you know? They really give you that whole vibe and sense of
Hmm.
understanding where he came from, where he's at now, and why, even all the way down to why he is the way he is because of his dad, giving him
Yeah,
all that trauma. Like we didn't know about that at first, and then they tell us later on that his dad's racist, and then it circles back to what we started with
yeah,
dude, aren't you that racist hero that only kills minority? Like everything kind of like just found its way to weave back and forth into
yeah,
each other and create one cohesive timeline, I guess you could say. And I
yeah,
really appreciated that amongst everything else.
yeah. But if I was to give so far, like as like episodes 1 through 3,
Mhm.
a rating on the Marvel scale, I would probably definitely giving it like a solid 4.5, four
Yeah,
point three
yeah.
in that range.
I agree
Uh,
completely.
I don't know why I can't give it a 5,
I
but
can't give it a 5 either because I was thinking 4.7 first. Like that's the first thing I thought of was like
I for
4.7.
sure I don't think I can give it a 5,
Mhm.
but I immediately just feel like it deserves a 4.5,
Mhm.
4.3 in there.
It definitely deserves over a 4.
Hmm.
And I don't even know exactly what I would want to
It
be
might,
different to
yeah,
make it a 5. And
yeah.
that's what kind of is messing me up right now in my head. Like I'm trying to think like what would I like to change in this for it to be a
I
5?
think for me, I like the way it made me feel
Yes.
watching episodes 1 through 3. That sounds weird, but the
No,
way
it
it
doesn't
made me
sound weird
feel,
because I understand completely.
like the way it made me feel as like a DC fan or like a person that loves superhero stuff and
Mhm.
wanting to have that rated R content, Uh, I don't know. I just liked the way it made me feel, and liked it gave me something to look forward to with this show more so than what Hawkeye has been able to do, what Boba Fett so far has been able to do.
I
So
think
it
one of the
definitely
reasons
it just
as
felt
well that I felt that
felt
way
right.
is because they went out of their way to name drop so much stuff.
Mhm.
Like so much DC canon stuff, like so much DC stuff, they just name drop for it. Like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, this is that. Oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? It was just like, whoa, like man, I'd rather be with Harley Quinn. It was like, yo, this is awesome. Like, we
Yeah.
don't get stuff like that. Usually they have to worry about saying something because the rights for
Yeah.
that isn't the rights for this. It's not the same universe. Like, no, none of that stuff happened. It's all in your face. They let you know who they are, what this is, and I just
Yeah.
really appreciated that.
Yep. I agree. I agree. Uh, but man, with that said, guys, let us know how this show has made you guys feel so far. Episodes 1 through 3. Did you guys enjoy them? Did you not like them? Let us know what you guys didn't like. Let us know what you guys did like. And do you guys have any ideas as what we're gonna see in the show? Let us know down below. We'd love to know more.
Yes. And if you guys have anything else you would like us to review or react to, just drop it in the comment section down below and we'll try to get to it as soon as we can. Thank you guys for tuning in with us on another episode of Marvel Bros. And we'll see you on the next one.
Oh yes.
Excelsior.
Peace.